Hello and a very good evening to our viewers. Welcome to ELITE TV. You're watching Open Debate in English. I'm your host, Chongtham Amrita, and today we're going to be debating and discussing on the topic confusing seating arrangement, and this is regarding the upcoming State Assembly session that is going to take place on the 10th of February until the 24th of February. Now, we bring up this topic is because recently there has been a bit of a confusion related with the seating arrangement in the legislature. The NPP president, Sri Conrad K. Sangma, has withdrawn the support of the NPP from the BJP regime. But there have been 5 NPP MLAs who have been writing to the speaker for their request to sit in the Treasury bench. However, upon questioning of their relationship to the NPP president, Sri Conrad K. Sangma has also said that they will be sitting in the opposition bench. And also today, the speaker, the honorable speaker, has also clarified and put all the confusions at rest by stating that these 5 MLAs will be sitting in the opposition bench. Now also, there is a question about the lone JDU MLA who have initially the JDU have stated that they have withdrawn the support from the BJP government, and again for the very next day he again said that he will be giving his allegiance to the BJP regime, and now because of that the JDU state president have also been suspended. So now he will be sitting in the Treasury bench, but then again there will be some questions and some confusions as well that was the starting point of all this confusion. Now again, there is one other thing that people and most of us have still not been accounting for, which is the 10 Kuki MLAs. If they do turn up for this assembly session, we are still assuming that they will be continually boycotting this session once again. But what if they turn up? Will they be sitting in the opposition bench or in the Treasury bench behind the Chief Minister? Because we all know that they have been continually boycotting this Biren-led government. Now, there is a lot of things at stake here, especially with all eyes on the upcoming assembly session, and also with a lot of things that are being needed to be discussed at the table, and also the budget session to be implemented for a lot of avenues and a lot of sectors. This will be one of the biggest political and also a very big event for the state, especially for the political regime. And also there has been a lot of rumors regarding that, a lot of speculation. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. First of all, I would like to welcome our speakers for tonight. Our first speaker for tonight is Oja Paojel Chaoba, the Executive Editor for the Frontier Manipur. Oja, welcome to Open Debate. Our second speaker for tonight is Dr. Naorem Bobo, Media Spokesperson for DMCC. Oja, welcome to Open Debate.
Good evening.
And our third speaker for tonight is Dr. N.G. Shantikumar, Professor of English, Hungkou Delin University from Taiwan. Oja, welcome to Open Debate.
Thank you, Amrita, for having me.
Okay, let's start with the discussion right away. I'll first start with Oja Paojel Chaoba. We all know that we have been assuming that the 10 Kuki MLAs will still continue to boycott the assembly session once again. But the question is, what if they turn up? What if they turn up for this session? Because this will be a very long and a very big session. And regarding the seating arrangement, we all know that for now, the NPP will although be sitting in the opposition bench, but what about the Kuki MLAs? Will they be sitting behind the Chief Minister who they claim to be in opposition with, even though some of them do belong to the same party? So the question will start with a bit of a prediction and also a bit of a speculation coming from to you, Oja. Do you think that if the Kuki MLAs will turn up this session, and if they do turn up, where will they sit? In the opposition bench or in the Treasury bench? And what will be the consequences of that?
Well, Amrita, what we have to begin with will be our Constitution, the Indian Constitution, right? So the Constitution empowers a federal structure And the states have our own assemblies, no, the Vidhan Sabhas. So when the Indian Constitution, it promises us so many things, the preamble, the right to equality, equal representation, and all these different liberties are promised to us. So what and where do we conduct this democratic process? That will be in the assembly, of course. So in Manipur, we have our own structure, which the constitution gives us a right. We are under a democratic setup. They say that it's a democracy, but we don't know how much freedom we're having in Manipur right now. But our rights, right to life, right to have a peaceful society, a right to have our properties guarded, and to keep the state safe. All this machinery and the policies which need to be brought out have to be dished out in the assembly, the floor of the assembly. Policies needs to be discussed, debates needs to happen, and that's of course why the MLAs, our representatives are there, just to make the laws which will be beneficial for our people, irrespective of caste, creed. Hence, the constitution says that promises us to be a secular state. So, given all these constitutional rights for a democratic process to happen, Manipur needs the house to have a proper representation from all different communities.
Right.
Constitutionally speaking. I am not pro-cookie or anything, nothing of that sort. But from a constitutional point of view, the question of whether a democratic process is happening is now questionable. As Amrita has pointed out, like if the 10 cookie MLAs come to the house,
right.
Suddenly now we have our borders established, the buffer zones are there. And it's everyone's knowledge that Maitis can't go to the hills. And for the cookies, they can't come to the valley. So, since 2023, we have witnessed sessions where we know that they were not present at all. And this time, it's pretty much obvious that they won't be heroes.
Okay.
But the question is that the functioning of the House, of a federal structure, of democracy, these are the things, and the Constitution gives for the state, various articles are there, Article 170 or something like that. But so when the equal representation, that particular structure, that particular numbers of a 60-member House is not there, then how can you say that a democratic process is happening? This is as per constitutional law. Mm-hmm. So there would involve some sort of a constitutional crisis. It would definitely amount to that, because how can the House not entertain a particular section? That is one issue which needs to be properly addressed, because we want to be very, very much, we want to know how the state is going to function and how effective will be the government. Mm. Because cookies cannot come to Imphal, we can't go to the hills. But there's one area where the governor can address this, because he has got some special powers that he can invoke. He can either conduct the assembly in a, mutually safe place where Maitis and cookies can come together or sit together. And I don't think that's going to happen, not going to happen any day soon. However, regarding this other thing that, what needs to be addressed is if this is a constitutional problem, then the governor can also invoke President Rule, Article 356.
Okay.
The governor can do that. So if the house, the system is not functioning properly, the governor can invoke PR. So there are so many things which might play out, but given the certain today's developments and all, I believe that we are in for some sort of a very interesting sitting of the Manipur Legislative Assembly. And there are so many speculations doing the rounds, like what's going to happen of no confidence motions about will that be raised because the opposition leader, Mr. Naorem Bobo, he met the governor today. And there was issues of whether no confidence motion can be brought up or not. So I believe that this is going to be a very interesting session, but nevertheless, for a constitutional setup, for a functional democracy, the state has to have equal representation in the House. This is what I'll say. And if not, then what sort of system will the state machinery adopt? What will the House adopt? What will be the policies for all the communities? And who will talk about the present ethnic violence happening in the state? These are questions which needs to be answered. These are problems which needs to be discussed out in the assembly, floor of the assembly. So let's see what happens.
Yes,
we're keeping our fingers crossed.
We have to, for now, we need to wait and watch indeed. But the burning question here still remains regarding the resolution of this conflict and the state's role in it. And also, Paojel Chaoba has clearly mentioned that since the 10 Kuki MLAs, if they're going to be absent, once again, the governor himself can also invoke Article 356, and in order for the law and order to prevail in the state. So there's a lot of points that Oja has brought up. I'd like to address them again in the next round, but now I'd like to move on to Dr. Naorem Bobo once again. Oja Bobo, Oja Paojel Chaoba has also mentioned it, and there have been speculations regarding a no confidence motion to be raised or not in this upcoming assembly session. Now, one thing about the no confidence motion is that once it is raised in a session, it cannot be raised again in another 6 months. So if it is raised in this session, it will not be able to be raised in the next session again. So my question is that since we all assume that the 10 Kuki MLAs will not be being present again this time of the session, do you think that they being such outspoken opposition, being in opposition with the Chief Minister, being very outspoken to be against him, even though some of them belong to the same BJP party, they have been completely very outspoken to say that they want to remove the Chief Minister from time and time again. Do you think that the 10 Kuki MLAs will miss this opportunity if the no confidence motion arises in the parliament, in the floor of the parliament, and this will be an opportunity for them to oust or to remove the Chief Minister? Because if they if they do miss this opportunity, because this will not again come again in another 6 months, this is in no way instigating or giving any encouragement to this issue or to this motion, but this is a discussion. Because if it does arise, do you think that the Kuki MLAs will miss this opportunity, and is it right for them because they have been so outspoken against the Chief Minister?
Good evening, Amrita, and to all the respected speakers and to all the viewers of ELITETV today. See, we can see in different views that the question what you are asking about the 10 Kuki MLAs. Even if they don't attend the assembly session, then the view may go in a wrong way, because if they don't attend the assembly session for the consecutive for the last this coming year, again it will be 2 years, then it may give a message to the central government that they don't want to attend the Manipur assembly session due to their demand of this separate administration and the UTs. So they may take some benefit on this point. And on another view, if you see that even if the Kuki 10 MLAs, those who are demanding of removal of the Honorable CM Biren, but even if Viren has been removed from the CM post, if somebody come up for the CM of Manipur, will they agree to withdraw the buffer zone? Will they agree to withdraw the UT? Will they agree to withdraw the demand of this separate administration? That will be a big question. So, in this politically, this divided ideas or divided, which is going on in Manipur, as well as the NPP, which who the chief of the NPP, Konak Sharma, has already said that they have withdrawn from the NDA government. Still,
Yes.
they are in support those 5 MLAs. So it is very confusing to the people of Manipur that what is going on to the leaders of this our states, what is going on with the leaders of our representative, respected MLAs. So it's not a time to come up and do the real practical way to solve the problem, or to keep the people of Manipur in confusing state just to benefit for their political ideologies, or just to stand on their post of this MLA, or they want the post only to go forward. That is a big question. If they are a true leader of the people of state of Manipur, they should stand up and they should speak up, irrespective of their political ideologies, irrespective of their political parties. But they have not done yet. It is almost 22 months now since the conflict has started. Again, if you go down to the present scenario of this political that season, which is going to come up on February 5th, that Manipur in the Manipur Assembly, even if they rise a no confidence motion, this 10 cookie MLA till today they have not withdrawn from the Biren government, Biren Singh government, and they have not raised a voice against that that we are withdrawing from the government. Then people are not expecting that they will withdraw it. Hence, because they are in the same, this BJP led government, and they are in the same party. So this is very confusing. So even if the no confidence motion has raised, that the majority of the party are intact with this NDA government. So what is the resolution they are going to bring, and what is their real true leadership of the people of Manipur? What are expecting? Are they going to do it, or are they going to stand on their for the party or on their benefit? This will be the big question again. So after summarizing all this, that even if the opposition party rise the no confidence motion, or even if the NPP withdraw from the government, will it bring a peaceful solution to Manipur conflict? That is the big question, and that is the question of the people of the Manipur and voice of the people of Manipur. That I'd like to highlight on this first round.
Yes, indeed. Very good point. Once again, I think in connection, in alignment with first speaker's notes as well. I'll note that again, Oja Bobo, and I'll come back to you again in the next round. Now, moving on with this debate, Oja Shantikumar, I'd like to come to you that recently the Honorable Speaker had met with the Union Home Minister, and he will be meeting him again on the 5th of February, again in just a few days. And also the Meghalaya Chief Minister and also the NPP leader, he also met with Amit Shah again yesterday. But what conspired in those meetings have not been disclosed. It has not been revealed, but just stated in the newspapers today that Honorable Speaker, he said that it was just regarding with some of the dissents, the conflicts, and just to mend them. So this was just a very vague statement of whatever conspired within that 30 minutes meeting with the Home Minister. Now, the thing is that, Oja, I'd like to know that Sri Conrad Sangma has categorically stated that the NPP is still with the NDA government but will withdraw from the Sri Biren-led government. That is the same thing to say that they do not support the current regime, especially the Biren-led government. government. So in the rumors and speculation of a no confidence motion brewing up in this upcoming assembly, do you think that that meeting that conspired between the Home Minister and Conrad K. Sangma was to just say, and also from his side to say that he is still in alignment with the NDA, but does not support the Biren-led government? So maybe that was. Do you think that that was what conspired in that meeting?
Yeah, one is Conrad Sangma is still with the NDA government.
Yes.
In the central government.
Yes.
So, but he is just not against the BJP Council of Ministers, but he is just against the CM of Manipur, the CM Biren. So, there might be some. We don't know. It's not revealed so far, so we don't know what they might have talked about. But if the NPP, as Speaker Satyabrata says, they will be in the opposition. I think then if this 19 MLAs from the BJP, the present government led by Satyabrata, the Speaker, and the 5 NPP MLAs, plus with the Congress, if they are united, there may be no confidence motion this time, if possible, and so if that's the case, I think CM Biren could be ousted from his post. But so far it's not clear. We don't know yet what will be discussed in the coming assembly session. So it's hard to say, but I think, again, on the other side, I think, the 19 MLAs from the BJP government, so even though they are against, if they like to, withdraw their support to the CM, then the BJP government will be broken. And that means they need to share the power with the opposition leaders. But there will be no BJP. If they think too much about their possibilities of gaining minister posts and or left behind, taken mostly by the opposition MLAs, then it would be another problem for them also. So I think we need to wait and see what happens. But there may be no confidence motion still possible. And also a little bit talking about those 10 Kuki MLAs who have never participated in the assembly session in Manipur. But if they really like to oust CM Biren, I think they can also join the session, but not physically, but through online. And if they also come and support those rebel groups, I would say those 19 MLAs, and they are rebel groups. So if these 10 MLAs from the Kuki side also participate through online, and that they join, and also they are with those 19 MLAs and with the opposition MLAs, then it will be easy to oust the CM. But we don't know yet if they will really come and join through online or physically. We're not sure,
yes,
because
right.
they have very specific demand from their side. So I'm not sure if they will, but possibly they may not come until, because CM Biren is still the chief minister, so
yes,
he's not ousted yet. So possibly they may not join. I'll keep this way first round.
Indeed, very smartly said, Oja Shantikumar. Now, coming to Oja Paojel Chaoba, as you already mentioned regarding an audio clip, a video clip that of a statement of a speech given by the Chief Minister in connection with a Samvidhan Gaurav Abhiyan program that was organized on 14th January at the BJP office. There he made a few statements regarding in connection with the no confidence motion. If it is raised, whoever MLA will raise that particular motion, then that particular MLA might not be able to live in the state, and also some other words that he also said in that particular video clip. It has been going viral, and not just that, the CLP leader Sri Oibobi has also raised that to the governor, because that is not the way the constitution works, as you already mentioned, and also that is something that we need to take note of, because the question to be asked here is that if the Chief Minister has been saying those kinds of words, do you think that the Chief Minister, he thinks he does not enjoy the confidence of his legislature? That is the question, Oja.
When a leader speaks, and especially the head of the state, the executive head of the state, as being a chief minister, he should exude confidence. He is the chief minister, and he is responsible for the state. He is responsible as the leader of the house, as a chief minister, to bring in policies and to make the state move on the way forward. So when you are not able to do your work, given this political scenario in Manipur, and when you have come to your fold and saying that if someone raises dissent against me, then there might be some reactions to that. So when a leader speaks, this is the way that chief minister should say about himself, or about predicting what can happen. But I believe that as per the constitution, what we talk about with governor today, their constitution gives them every right to push for a no confidence motion.
Right.
So I believe that if we are all disgruntled, the public are in such a manner that, I mean, like, we are at the end of our theater. The state is now termed as a failed state. So the responsibility, the voters and the elected. We elected our representatives, and we have sent them to the house to represent us in the first place. So the person who's going to the assembly session, for example, I'm from Taiwan constituency. We have our MLA, and he's representing me. So there are some things which needs to be thrust out and in the assembly, and a solution needs to be brought out. But for that, the constitution has, once again, I am stating that it is a democratic process which the constitution gives us. The constitution of India gives us that provision to debate, to make policies, and also for a brighter, vibrant democracy. This is an exercise which has to be done every 6 months. So now what we want to know is, like, will the situation of our state be reflected in the assembly? This is the question that we have been asking. The last assembly session didn't last even, like, say, 10 minutes or something like that. There was a joke that one MLA went to the washroom, and when he came out, the session was concluded.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
I mean, the seriousness of our situation has to be highlighted in the assembly. It has to be trusted. A solution has to be hammered out, given any circumstances. That is why the functioning of a democracy relies wholly on the constitution and the process of that assembly sitting, which is going to happen, who's going to take place once again. But all the public are hoping for something, a resolution, a resolve. And yes, we are ready to hear the debates anytime. At this time, it's most welcome. But we want to see how we saw how the opposition has reacted, and we have seen the stance of the NPP will be interesting also this time.
Right.
I call up some of my sources, and they told me that it's going to be very interesting to see this present sitting, and the no confidence motion, which would obviously be raised. We'll see what will happen.
Okay.
And who is going to bail the cat. And this is something which needs to be done because, as I have said, this is the democratic process which is going to pave the way for Manipur to usher in peace, to usher in normalcy, so that we can live our lives without fear of getting killed or a bomb falling on us, someone shooting us. Because the Constitution gives us that particular right, and we have done that in an elected way. We have given our votes, and this is very important because the BJP leaders should also be watching this the present situation, and at the same time, we have an election coming up shortly in 2 years. So no problem. But if this problem persists, then will BJP be able to maintain their power? Like we have seen in the last election, the MP election, where the outer and the inner both went to the Congress. It was a landslide.
Right.
So if this violence continues to persist, and if this matter is not settled in the assembly, then of course the political ramifications will be very bad, especially for the BJP. Because they can start asking questions themselves, like if they will get elected in the next upcoming elections. So this one thing that the politicians and the political masters both need to address and watch and bring out a result. But the grapevine has it that this session will be very interesting, and there might be some changes which might happen. So we're waiting for that. And we have got some information also that certain talks are going to be held in Delhi, and Amit Shah has invited so and so, and some people have already left, and some people are already there, the MLAs. So there's something, the wind is blowing. We'll see if this will be winds of change.
Indeed, very good point, Oja, that you've raised. That yes, indeed, there's been a lot of political travels, political speculation, and not just that, a lot of things related to this Manipur crisis and also the assembly session, and a lot of things being packed before the 10th of February, and a lot could happen within those few days, and it could be truly something that can be a very big change there. Now, on that note, Naorem Bobo, I'd like to ask you that the disqualification case of the 5 JDU MLAs is also pending. It is slated to be heard on the 8th of February, which is just 2 days before the commencement of the assembly. So things could again completely change on the 9th of February, depending on whatever the Speaker Tribunal decides on the disqualification of those 5 JDU MLAs, because now they have now jumped house to the BJP already, who has a number of 32 seats, and now they have added their allegiance again to the BJP number. And well, this is in fact very interesting. In the first place, when it was this assembly session, this legislature began on 2022, but I was rambling there. Now, Oja, my question is that, do you think that this particular disqualification case that's slated on 8th of February will bring any influence, it will bring any change in this upcoming assembly session as well? What are your expectations from this?
Amrita, even if The state JDU leader have already stated before that they have withdrawn from the support to this NDA government of Biren Singh. But on the another day, that from the center itself, the chief of the JDU, they have terminated him from the post of this JDU state president.
Yes.
So the game which has been playing, it's not from itself from the Manipur. It is playing from the center itself, and those high political profile who are sitting in center, they are watching, and all eye is in Manipur. What will be the political scenario and what will the future of Manipur? They are closely watching it. So even if they are on the process of this disqualification, I don't think that they will take the judgment very soon in the court to disqualify it until unless there is a NDA government in the center as well as in the state. They may prolong this process in the court before this these elections of this which to be held in Manipur in 2 years. So it may be, or they may, another sense, they may disqualify it, even if they may disqualify it, them, but they may not disqualify it coming this in 3, 4, or 5 months. And if they are disqualified from this the post of MLA, then what about those cookie 10 MLAs who have been opposing it and who have been not attending the assembly session for this last year and as well as this coming season? They may or may not be. That is in very dilemma position. Then the question will be arise that also. Yeah. So it may be or may not be, but it will be very difficult to say the present scenario that they may disqualify or may not be. But there will be a due process. I have already mentioned it that the game which is going on is from the center, which the political leaders who are sitting in the center, they will decide it whether how the further process of the court will be done and to change or make it to this Manipur political scenario at present. And all the people of Manipur who will be keeping eye on this Manipur, this which assembly session which is going to take soon. So in view of this, the people are expecting that there will be some resolution which will be benefit to the people of Manipur, or which will keep some change in this conflict, or they may bring some solution. But if the respected members as well as the Honorable CM and as well as the opposition leader, Mr. Naorem Bobo, if they don't discuss the matter in the assembly coming assembly session about these core issues, about the conflict, about the suffering of the people, about IDPs, not only to my taste, to all those Kuki community also, and about the 10 MLAs of the Kuki MLAs who are opposing and who are demanding this to divide the Manipur. These core issues, if they don't discuss in this assembly session, or if they only discuss about this removing the CM or this political scenario to take political mileage on for their own this political parties or own benefit, then people of Manipur will never forgive on this. I think so, and people of Manipur will keep watching on this, and in the after that, then there will be a big changes in Manipur about this political situation which is going on, not of the Congress, not of the BJP, but people will lose their faith in the political leaders, political parties, or political those representatives who are representing the people of Manipur at present. They will completely lose their faith in them, and there may be a rise of different scenarios of people voice, and people who are waiting for it may come out in such a sudden way that if they don't take a appropriate solution or appropriate resolution on this coming assembly session, that will be very important for all the people of Manipur. That will be a very important, I think.
Yes, indeed. Indeed, that will be the utmost importance of now currently, because the current situation of Manipur seems to be defying solutions after solutions and continue to be prolonged 1 month after the other. Now I'll come back to you again, Oja Bobo, in the next round. Now moving on with this, Oja Shantikumar, I'd like to ask you that regarding all of this recent looking back a few months ago, and also this new political positionings that are happening here, I'd like to recall that there are 19 BJP MLAs who have openly written a letter to the Prime Minister and also voiced their voices against the Chief Minister to the Union Home Minister as well. So I think the national leaders may not have taken it very seriously. Maybe they thought that it was just another storm in a teacup and they brushed it aside, and maybe that's why that no action was taken against the Chief Minister. We have not heard any news regarding that. Now, it seems that the storm in the teacup has gained a momentum because of all these new political positionings that just unraveling with from all of these sides, all of these parties, their support withdrawing, and all of these issues at the same time, with a lot of meetings happening in Delhi as well. Now, Oja, there is a saying that a spark neglected burns the barn. It seems that by neglecting the Manipur issue, by failing to provide a solution to the Manipur issue, has cost the BJP party a lot. We can see that as an example in the upcoming in the recent Lok Sabha elections. Now, Oja, do you think that that particular spark, as the longer it is being neglected, the harder it will burn, and it will again burn to the party who is in the leadership in both in the center and the state as well? Oja, your take on that?
Exactly, Amrita. I agree that. I totally agree with that, because if the Manipur government and central government could control the conflict in the beginning, they wouldn't have lost those 2 MPs from Manipur, because it is always the ruling parties MPs who won in the election, in the MP elections, for the last many years. But this time it changed. And the candidates from other parties won, like Congress won. And Congress is not really in the opposition. Yes, they are in the opposition, but not legally, because they couldn't reach the level, the number of MLAs, to sit in the opposition party. So let's say Congress, as acting as an opposition party, those 2 candidates, they could win in landslide, defeating the ruling party's candidates. That means the same thing can happen in the next election, after 2 years, if the Indian government and the state government don't try to stop this conflict as soon as possible. The consequence will be very bad. Not only in the state will lose, the BJP government will lose most of the constituencies, MLAs. And also in the center, BJP may not come back. So it will be very good for central government and the state government to honestly try to solve the internal problem as well as the external problem. Right now we have not only the internal problem in conflict in Manipur, India also is facing a lot of external conflict, especially from the Bangladesh side, from the Pakistan side, and from the Burma side now. And in Burma is not the only one. India has to face if war happens in the near future. China is there. And the Russia is involved, supporting the junta government in Myanmar, and China is also supporting the junta government. And India is right now actually concerning the external foreign policy, India is walking on a tight rope without much proper balance. And India needs to know how to work properly, how to deal with the neighboring countries, especially Myanmar and China and Bangladesh and Pakistan, not trying to antagonize, only trying to oppose them or neglect the relationship, you know. And one thing is India also should have a very clear stand concerning the foreign policy. India doesn't have a clear stand. What kind of stand does India have? It's not clear. Sometimes supporting the USA, sometimes supporting Russia, sometimes going with China, sometimes opposing China, sometimes supporting junta government, sometimes, you know, supporting the PDF, the rebel groups who are going against the junta government. So India needs to take care of this foreign policy very carefully. And coming to the state problem, the internet problem, you know, it's been 20 months and more, and India is not really focused, not really trying to solve this conflict. It's a small problem. Now the small spark is burning all over India now. And
Right.
Many bigger political parties are coming up. And that's why JDU is not withdrawing from supporting the BJP government in Manipur. And also NPP, who has been supporting for the last 2 years, is also withdrawing their support. And who knows, all those 10 cookie MLAs also may be. We don't know yet. And also those independent candidates. And even we don't know those NPF. So I think, and the one thing I just like to, before I finish my round, I just like to say that I hope this session, as Chaoba just mentioned before, doesn't last 10 minutes or just one day. I hope the session goes smoothly, following the democratic norms.
Yes.
And also, any political party or any leader don't have the power to dictate any individual MLAs or any political party when they raise this no motion confidence against the CM or against the BJP government. They don't have in a democratic setup. So this, our CM should remember, and also those who are those council of ministers under him should remember they should never try to dictate or threaten the people or those MLAs and ministers who stand against them. So I just keep this way.
Very good point, Oja, once again. Now moving on with this debate, I'd like to come to Oja Paojel once again. It seems that the talk about the no confidence motion is becoming the elephant in the room now. And the million-dollar question here is that since the 5 NPP MLAs, they have already they have voiced their request to sit in the Treasury bench, which was declined by the Speaker and also the NPP President. Now they will be sitting in the opposition bench, though unwillingly. Now, if this no confidence motion does rise in the floor of the Parliament, who do you think that they will vote? What do you think that they will vote, especially the 5 unwilling NPP MLAs? And also, what about the 19 BJP MLAs who will be sitting in the opposition bench, but still who are clearly against the Chief Minister? That is the million-dollar question. And also, do you think that the visit that's upcoming visit from National Spokesperson Sambit Patra, do you think that his visit is to appease the BJP MLAs just in time for this assembly session starts? A lot of political positionings. Once again, your take on that, Oja Paojel.
Yes, we know that there's some lot of problems brewing up. Talk about the tapes, 93% match of the Chief Minister's voice is doing the rounds right now.
Yes.
So there seems to be a lot more issues coming up. And especially the Supreme Court is taking notice of that. You just can't brush that aside. One thing is that. But given the political situation, we know that there are so many MLAs who are on the dissenting side. And if numbers are true, and from sources which are telling us like who's with who and who may be with who, but someone whom you think might be on the Chief Minister's team may not be with him at the very last crucial time. So we have some numbers, and we're talking about around like 30, which is opposing, of course, and maybe like 18 with the Chief Minister's side. Something like this, speculations are on. But of course, we knew that our speaker was invited, and Mr. Shah spoke to him. It's on his own record saying that, of course, there might be some developments which is going to happen.
Yeah.
And we have learned that some seasoned politicians are being called at the center.
Okay.
So there are some, even Mr. Kemsan has left for Delhi today. And Sambit Pratha's visit, we are thinking that he might be coming here to just try to bring matters into some, what do you say, which might not react badly with the BJP's image here. So they might be trying to sweep the skeletons under the carpet, to sweep the dust under the carpet. But what we have heard is that there will be no going back for those people who are with the BJP, but of course, who will be with the opposition side in a way. But there will be a big shame for the BJP, because from their own fold, their own chief ministers, their own party, who's got a majority, and the majority cannot control their own MLAs,
Right.
even from center. That's one thing. But I believe that the MLAs should be acting for their own political careers also, because this is a time when people are watching.
Right.
This is a time when I'm watching my MLA. This is a time when you're watching what your MLA is doing. So on the floor of the House, of course, we'll be listening, we'll be watching who's going to say what's going to happen. And of course, with the no confidence motion which people are expecting, I believe that is on the card. We heard some dates were given to us, like from our sources, we don't know, but it is definitely going to be brought up on the floor of the House. This is what we have heard. And of course, as you have pointed out before, that the Chief Minister has been apprehensive, and in that particular BJP this time meeting, where he had said that someone who brings up the no confidence motion might land up in trouble. And we see what the governor has to say today also. And of course, coming back to your question, Sambit Patra, yes.
Yes, maybe he's here to do some damage control after all.
The saving grace might be there, but I totally think that BJP will act this time.
Okay.
Otherwise, there will be some very, very serious repercussions for the MLAs, for their political careers. That is one thing that the MLAs also need to watch out for. Because as I pointed out before, this is a test of fire which is going to happen in the floor of the House. So what sort of fire? And we all know the numbers. At least we have some idea of a list which is there. Those who have signed the petition,
the letter
that letter which was there, that was being circulated, and we have met some of those people who are the signatories.
Yeah.
And they have assured us that something is going to happen. And I believe the center is also pulling up the trousers in one way, because they need to handle this in at least the sooner the better. Otherwise, BJP will be a big problem. They will be having a big problem in contesting elections next time. So let's see. all will
Indeed.
happen.
And a very important point that everyone is watching now. Everyone is watching their MLAs. People are watching their MLAs, what they will say, what they will do. So that needs to be put into regard, because this is not happening in vacuum. People are watching, people are listening. And I think the stage is set for all of that to happen. So we will wait and watch for that. Once again, thank you for speaking on all of that and also kind of revealing what's going to happen in the next few days. Now, moving on with this too, I'll move on to Oja Bobo. Oja Bobo, you were in Delhi. I think you have been witnessing the Delhi Assembly elections, campaigns, and all of that. I think you were there, and maybe you can speak for yourself of how the pictures and how is the numbers coming up, adding up. Do you think that the assembly election of the Delhi Assembly election, I think it's going to take place in just 2 days from now, and the results will be announced on the 8th of February, once again a few days before the assembly session in Manipur. Do you think that that particular result will influence in some way in this session, or do you think that the current crisis in Manipur will also impact the results in Delhi? So do you think there will be vice versa thing going on there with the Delhi elections? Oja, your thoughts on that?
Well, Amrita, yes, exactly. Delhi election is going to be held on this 5th of this Feb, within these 2 days. A lot of politicians and a lot of big leaders of the nation, a lot of these different party workers are working day and night for their own political leaders. So the NDA and the India bloc, they have been working day and night. All are keeping their eye on Delhi. Exactly, Delhi is a big game changer will be there, and for the last 10 years, the Aam Aadmi Party has been ruling the government in Delhi. So this time the NDA is eyeing full eye and full effort to form a government in Delhi, as well as the Congress party, as well as this Samajwadi Party, JDU. All parties of Indian political leaders are working in this Delhi elections. But as per the poll predictions, many of them have already predicted that Aam Aadmi Party will be coming back.
Okay.
And so these are the poll predictions which are in the news. But let's see, we don't know yet. It will be very interesting.
Yes,
that
indeed.
if the Aam Aadmi Party have come back and taken another for 5 years, and then that will be a big impact to the BJP government as well as the Congress. But the impact will be more in BJP government in center. They have been eyeing this for the last 10 years, and it is again that if the Aam Aadmi Party has come back, then the center, that BJP this time they have not came the majority like the last year in the MP elections. And see, if it is not able to form or not at least the number of MLAs for the BJP, if they have aiming for that, that some of the MLAs they are expecting, but even though if they don't form the government, but if the numbers which they are expecting it's not in their form, then it will be obviously the impact will go to very deep, and as well as that will the impact that will have some forces or some practical way or some political changes as well as in Manipur too. So all the politicians are now eyeing a big eye on Delhi. So let us see what the scenario of these political parties who are working day and night in Delhi to form a government. It will be very interesting. But as I have already said that most of the poll predictions they have pointed out that Aam Aadmi Party will form the government again in Delhi. But we don't know yet. These are the predictions. Let us just see it and watch it. But the impact will be very deep in the NDA government and the impact in the Manipur as well as. And that will be a big message to the people of Manipur as well as people of India that the game is changing in this political this scenario, which will be going to happen in Delhi. Let us see what the
Yes,
prediction.
it will be a very
It will be
interesting event, I
prediction
think.
or the voice and people mandates of. And Delhi is like Manipur. It's different communities who are settling here. Many communities are settling. It's India, mini India, and like it's like in SMS Manipur, and it has 60 MLS. In Manipur too, it has 60 MLS.
Right.
So it is alike in Manipur. So that let's hope it how it
Yes,
come out.
wait and watch is the only policy here. But although this will be some very interesting political events coming up, and also with the relations, with the mirroring and all the relevance with Manipur and happening and all those events happening elsewhere in the country as well. Now, in the closing point part of this discussion, I'd like to come to Oja Shantikumar, and to you, I'd like to pose one question that Oja Paojel Chaoba raised in the beginning, especially in the upcoming assembly session that's going to commence on the 10th of February. Do you think that the situation of Manipur, the current reality of Manipur, will be reflected on the floor of the legislature this time? What are your thoughts on that? Can you please tell us briefly on that? Oh, Oja Shantikumar, you're on mute.
If the political leaders, if the ruling party is following the democratic norms, of course there should be, the session should be full and completed, not like just finished in 10 minutes. If something like that happens, then nothing will come out, nothing good will come out, and the ruling party will continue, whether people like it or not. So my point here is we just need to wish that the session, the assembly session, lasts as it should be, and complete the process so that all those core issues can be discussed. Like, for example, the conflict going on, and also IDP's problems, and the conflict, and those 10 MLAs, 10 MLAs, and other issues, so that they can discuss all these issues. And from my side, concerning about election, I'm very much envy the election process in Taiwan and the Congress discussion. They really follow, even though we consider that the present government is very weak and a puppet to the puppet of USA government, but still, this puppet government follows the democratic norms in Taiwan concerning the election process, and also the discussion, the debate, and everything. They try to follow. They follow, almost 99%. So I am very much envy of this process, and I wish the assembly session will follow at least some percentage of these democratic norms happening here in Taiwan. So I think that's the wish I can say, but we need to wait and see how it happens. And I just hope it doesn't last 10 minutes or 1 day.
Yes, indeed. I think it won't last 10 minutes this time. I think the Business Advisory Committee has released a statement detailing all of the details about the assembly session, and we know that now this will take place from the 10th of February to the 24th of February, and there are days marked for even a private member's bill, and the time and dates marked for question hour and all of that. So it looks like this will be a full-fledged session. We just hope that it is fruitful, and all of the issues that are related for the resolution of the crisis are in fact tabled on the floor, which is the need of the hour at this point. Now, again, at the end, towards the end, I'd like to just sum up into this discussion that we know that winds are blowing in some directions, that we know that something definitely is cooking with all the political positionings happening just before the assembly sessions. And as there's a saying that goes that in politics, nothing happens by accident, and we will wait and watch, and all eyes are definitely on the upcoming assembly session, and we do hope that it does consider the reality of the present crisis in Manipur and bring some respite to the big wounds that the people of Manipur are facing. On that note, I'd like to end today's discussion once again, and I would like to thank our speakers for joining us tonight, Oja Paojel Chaoba, Oja Naorem Bobo, and also Oja Shantikumar for being with us and sharing us your thoughts. Thank you all once again.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. And I would like to thank our viewers for tuning in tonight. We will be back again next Monday with more related and exciting topics. Until then, keep watching ELITETV News. This is Amrita signing off. Have a good night.